Sure.
Blue Max. Let's do a 360. You go back, or 180 and go back. Blue Max. You Mongoose approaches you. Skip approaches you. How do you get on Blue Max?
Because I got on Bob Hadley's list, somehow my name got to Mongoose.
Oh, okay.
Bob calls me and just says, "Hey, give a call to Mongoose and talk to Russell Kawa." And I did. I called, and that was it. They said, "Yeah, we want you," and I was like, "Okay." So
is this Brian? Is this like Brian Gass era Blue Max, or
yeah,
before or after?
Darwin Griffin. Trying to remember who else was on. Fred Johnson, I think, and maybe a few more, but not too many, because Blue Max was never like a big team with a lot of publicity. But we were more well known internationally than in the U.S. because we were on the military base.
Yeah.
So near American military base, that's the bike you're gonna see in the store. And basically, it was a Mongoose. I mean, the same, everything new, just different stickers.
Okay, what era was it? A 70? Was it a Moto Mag era Mongoose, or was it a Pro Class era Mongoose?
After the Pro Class, the same time that the Eric Group signature came out.
Okay.
That time, and I think so. Right after Pro Class, so all the Pro Class parts transferred over, and then we were on Eric Group signature frames.
So you didn't race the Pro Class. You raced the wheels?
Oh yeah, and we were
Did you like them?
Eric Group signatures were just restickered as Blue Max, and that back then you just did that. Nobody knew the difference. I mean, it still looked like the regular Blue Max and Mongoose anyway, so there really wasn't any question. But it definitely wasn't the same bike they were selling at the PX.
Dude, yeah, I was, because I talked to Brian Gass and I never really understood what the frame was like on Blue Max. So now I know it wasn't, because I remember, wasn't there a Blue Max with the Iron Cross in the gusset from like 78 or something? Wasn't that a Blue Max?
Yeah, I think they still might have been doing them later on. But what happens is the middle to the low end Mongooses were the Blue Maxes, because they really didn't think the high end pure race stuff was gonna sell well in a military store. So they just put kind of mid range and down. So the one with that gusset you're talking about is the one that did come with like the mag wheels, the Moto Mags, and all that.
Yeah, okay.
So those were around for quite a bit longer, because actually I wouldn't doubt we sold more of the middle to low end, because those were the cheaper everyday kids bike versus the high end specific race bike.
Okay, all right, got it. So how'd you do on Blue Max? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, right? Blue Max or Mongoose, you were still riding the same bike, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Everything was the same. We actually had less pressure, to me, because I mean, as much as they wanted us to do well and all that, you almost always saw more Mongoose featured riders and stuff in the magazines and all that. And Blue Max mostly you saw in like race coverage and stuff, but you didn't ever see a Blue Max article on our bike or the riders too much, except for some of the guys that were like doing really well. Like I know a bunch of guys got like NBL number ones, like Ken Amen, and oh gosh, some names are escaping me. But I mean, we had some notables, but you saw Blue Max because of the rider winning. But if you wanted to know about it, it's kind of like, what is it, or
Yeah, right. So when you ride for Blue Max, it's not a stretch to get on a Mongoose. Then, well, is it just like as simple as, hey Jason, you want to ride a Mongoose now, or not a Blue Max? I mean, is it a big change, or it's the same damn company? You just get a different bike, right? Or a different jersey?
Yeah. Well, different stickers, different jersey. Yeah. In my case, they just decided to pull the funding out of the Blue Max team and just add that funding to Mongoose and make the Mongoose team bigger. And then we all, whoever was there, we all were under Mongoose at that time. And then that's when we debuted the pink Mongoose uniform. And that was my start with Mongoose, was that pink uniform.
for bike shop guys like myself, what is it like being on a factory team as big as Mongoose with all the funding? What's it like being a factory rider for Mongoose the day to day? I mean, what are some of the challengers or some of the perks of being a factory rider? I mean, I would assume you get to go into the Mongoose factory and say, "Oh, I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll take this." I mean, was it that easy and that good, or
Yeah.
was there pitfalls to it?
I didn't see any pitfalls, or at least not to me. But essentially, it was a free for all. I mean, literally, if even if I wasn't there, but it was just a phone call to have something sent to me, no matter what it was, and it was like fine, and it was in the mail, and you got it. Whether it was a bike, a uniform, a helmet, whatever. If I was there, I would literally take a bike box, put it on a cart, and walk through the warehouse, throwing stuff from the shelf into the box, and would just write my name on it and put it in shipping, and it would get sent to my house.
And you get
And
off the plane and it's sitting on your front porch.
yeah, and they were fine with it. I would just let them know, hey, I'm gonna go grab a bunch of stuff, and they didn't even want to know what I grabbed. They're just like, yeah, whatever, okay. And so
What were some of the trick parts? That I can't remember any really trick parts that Mongoose had back then. What were some of the stuff that they had?
the pro class wheels are probably the most desirable. The rims, parts wise, actually, we did. I didn't personally run that much of it, to be honest. Mongoose forks always bent, the the ones that have the inline dropouts.
Hmm.
So after having problems for a while, I asked Yvonne Shoup at Free Agent if I could get some forks, and she sent me some, and they had Mongoose stickers on them, and nobody asked any questions. Um, After that, they were stuck with a whole bunch of Cost Cruiser forks, which were larger diameter tubing, and the big old cruisers were gone already. Like the new 24 sleek, the Pro Class cruiser was out, and so I got lucky. They were experimenting because freestyle had hit. They needed stronger forks for those guys hitting the ramp, so they made a fork out of old Cost Cruiser forks tubing, and I got that, and then I raced that after for a while. So I had these Mongoose forks that were like really fat tubing, but still look like Mongoose.
Nice,
It,
dude.